Hey team, it's ChantalWeaver from FFL Golden State. Continental is my brand. And for anybody that's new that has just maybe dialed in for the first time, this is our new agent training that we're having before our team call on Thursday nights. Very important that people dial in and get this training to help you and your business improve and get better. So just a little bit of a background on me. If you are just joining Family First Life and maybe you haven't met a lot of people yet, I have been with Family First Life. This is my 5th year. My first year I was very, very, very part-time. I almost didn't work much at all. I was trying and, personal stuff getting in the way. So I didn't really produce a whole lot, but by the end of January in 2016, I got serious and decided to work full-time. I had locked counties out, and I was getting a steady lead flow, and, it took me a good bit of time to try to figure out a good schedule, but I figured it out. In 2016, I wrote $224,000. 2017, I wrote $314,000, and then last year I did $302,000. So, I've definitely figured out how to sell insurance, and now hopefully can help you guys with the training learn how to do it as well. So I hope I'm going over some phone scripts today, and hopefully this information will help you guys learn things a little more quickly than maybe it took me. So the first things first, what I want to say about the phone is everybody wants appointments. They think that's, the most important. They want product training. They think that's the most important. But I want to be clear that getting great on the phone is the very first thing that you need to learn, because it doesn't matter how much product knowledge you have. If you can't get appointments, it doesn't matter what knowledge you have. So the phone is what's going to allow you to get to the home to be able to give people the information. So the first thing you need to learn is phoning, how to dial, how to overcome objections, what to say, how to say it. So I'm going to go over a few different things that I've learned in doing this that I feel important. And I think firstly, you need to have a great attitude. You need to start the phone like you love dialing. Everybody's going to pick up the phone. Everybody wants to hear from you. People filled out a lead to be led. They want you to call them and help them, and not have that phone weigh 1,000 pounds. And we all don't like the phone. We all had to start somewhere, and we all learn how to eventually get a little bit more comfortable with it, and that comes with repetition and practice, and just realizing that without that, you're not going to have people to go see. So you really do need to get good on the phone. I recommend people to have a solid schedule, and what I mean by that is that you have like 2 committed days of the week. If you're full-time, 2 committed days that you're going to be dialing, and that you say from 8 until whenever you're going to dial to get the specified appointments that you need to book. Okay, it should be, if you're full-time, if you're booking for one day, 8 to 10 appointments, and if you're booking for 2 days, 16 to 20 appointments. So I do recommend that you have that schedule organized and that you stick to it, because that's also a very tough thing to do when you're independent, is to really stick to a schedule. So I also think you should have your leads printed out and ready for that. So like when you say I'm going to dial, for a certain time, make sure you get your leads printed out ahead of that. So if I'm planning to dial at 8, I should really be organizing myself around 7 so that I have my leads organized, and I have where I'm going to run which days, so that I'm ready to go by the time I'm going to dial. If you're fortunate enough to be able to go to an office and dial with others, I highly, highly encourage that, because I think there is power in, the momentum that you get from others and from the competitiveness, it's always good to see when somebody else gets an appointment, and then it's like, okay, well, now I need to get an appointment, and just kind of keeps you going. So I do think that it's very important that you do sometimes dial with others, but if you're not able to, we have great tools. We have Facebook Live, and there's other ways that you can try to help not feel so isolated. If you're dialing at home or somewhere else, I do encourage people to get to a quiet space so that, the people on the other end don't hear a lot of noise, and that you aren't not focused, that you need to be very focused and tell your family, this is my dial day, and it's actually the most important time that you can have in this business, because if you mess up your dial days, you're not going to have the appointments that you need. Okay? We have all made mistakes. Okay? I'm guilty of it. I don't know anybody that's not guilty of it. We've all made mistakes and messed up our dial days and had something else come up that we ran out to, or we might have had that complicated schedule of somebody that wanted an appointment that day that we take off to, and we go, see them, but that cuts into our dial time. That could cut into the next 2 days of appointments. So it's not worth it. You need to protect your dial time. Okay? I also want to emphasize that a lot of people want to say, what's the phone script, and can you email me something? And yes, people can write things down and you can read it, okay? But it is just as important to listen to the tone and the emphasis on certain words than it is on what the words are. Now, you'll listen, and I encourage you to listen to many people on how they dial and how they say things, because somebody's going to say it a little bit differently than somebody else, and that might fit your personality better. So really, really listen to many, many people. You almost need to sound pissed off and bothered, okay? I made this mistake when I first started. When somebody did answer the phone, I was so excited somebody answered the phone, I had somebody to talk to, that I'm like, oh, my God, it's Chantal, and I'm from the Mortgage Protection Center, and I'm just so happy you picked up the phone. And, don't do that. You sound like a telemarketer. So we all know that we get a lot of phone calls from telemarketing. We need to differentiate ourselves from them, because these people filled out a form requesting our help. So we need to say, hey, I'm getting back to you, okay? And in a tone that, like, I don't really want to be on the phone, but I need to be on the phone. This is what they're making me do. You filled out this form, now I got to call you. Kind of like that kind of a message to them. So I also highly encourage people to record yourself or to go on Facebook Live so that you can improve how you do things. You can listen to a lot of different people. You can hear the way they say it. Record yourself. Listen to yourself. See if it sounds like others. If it doesn't sound like others, then maybe you can make some changes and some tweaks. But if you want to learn quickly, if you go on Facebook Live and you say, hey, I'm new, I'm just learning how to book appointments, tell me what I'm doing wrong. That is the fastest way you're going to learn, okay? I know it's scary, and I know a lot of people don't like to put themselves out there like that, but promise you this, that you will learn much faster than people that don't. I promise you. I was one of those people that didn't want to put myself out there, so it took me a little while. But if I can tell you one thing, do it, you'll learn quickly. Okay, you'll hear from a lot of different people. Hey, say this. Hey, say that. Watch your tone on this. So that you can correct your own and improve your business. Okay. So just to run through a few different leads of how I would call them. Starting off, if I was to call, say, a mortgage appointment, I would say, hey, David, this is Chantal from the Mortgage Protection Center. I'm getting back to you. You filled out a form about your loan, your mortgage that you have at BB&T. I've been assigned to get that information out to you, David. I'm just calling to verify your information. It says here that your date of birth is May 7, 72. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. And I have that Alice, her birthday is 6/16 of 66. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Okay, perfect. David, my job is simple. There's no physical exam required when you get this coverage. I do, however, have to meet with you to verify you are who you say you are and have no major medical illnesses. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to see what you qualify, and I'm going to be out in your area on Tuesday. David, do you and Alice both work? Yes, we both work. Okay, what time do you typically both get home? Well, she gets home about 5, and I typically don't get home till about 6:30. Okay, David, they have me out there on Tuesday. I can slot you guys in between 7 and 8. Is there any reason you won't be there between 7 and 8? No, we should be there. Okay, David, I need you to make sure you tell Alice, okay, and tell her that I'm going to be there between 7 and 8. Sometimes I can run a little bit behind, but I will definitely be there. And, David, the address I have for you is 123 Main Street. Is that correct? Yes. And, David, is that easy to find on navigation? Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. David, I have you down between 7 and 8 on Tuesday. You'll know it's me when I get there, David. I'm going to be driving a gray Toyota Sienna, and I have long brown hair. Okay, David, so I will see you Tuesday between 7 and 8. Okay, sounds good. Have a good day. Click. Okay, now the reason why I say their name a lot is because everybody likes to hear their name. Okay, I also try to say a lot of things to pin it down, like I repeat the time several times. Like I like to say it at least 3 times, because I think when they hear it 3 times, it's going to stick with their head. Like, have you ever met somebody and you say for the first time and you hear their name, hey, and it's so-and-so, but like it never got said again, and now all of a sudden it's out of your mind. You don't even remember what their name is. It's like, I know you just told me like a second ago, but I don't remember. So I like to say it 3 times so it gets put in their brain between 7 and 8 Tuesday, 7 and 8 Tuesday, 7 and 8 Tuesday. Okay? I also like to try to say some things so that they can really visualize that I'm coming out. Okay? Like, I'm going to be driving a gray Toyota Sienna. I have long brown hair. Is it hard to find on navigation? And sometimes, you know, especially like seniors, they like to try to describe exactly what road to go down and whatever. So I like to make sure they're visualizing me coming. It's Tuesday between 7 and 8. My name's Chantal. I'm going to be there between Tuesday, 7 and 8, driving a gray Toyota Sienna. Okay, so I do encourage you to say a lot of things like that to try to really hammer down and confirm, lock down that appointment. Okay, now I also have said in the past, and I don't always do it, but if I feel like they've indicated something on the phone, like they've seen other agents, you know, you'll know it's me, gray Toyota Sienna. My name's Chantal. If it's not a gray Toyota Sienna, you know it's not me. Okay, I have had agents that don't book appointments. They just show up. I have had people like get in ahead of me, like maybe an hour before, because they just showed up, and the client thought that it was me, and I just showed up early. So I like to just make sure they know my name, what I'm driving, what I look like. Okay? And just to run over a few things about Facebook, because I know a lot of people run Final Expense, and it is a very easy, quick way to get a lot of leads. It's not a whole lot different, but I want to say for anybody that's new, I first want to make sure that you understand how that process works. Okay, so somebody goes on the internet and they're searching for something. Say you're searching for sneakers, and it shows up after you search for sneakers. You're looking on Facebook, and all of a sudden you see an ad for the very sneakers that you were looking for. That's because Facebook has the intelligence to see what you've already looked for and then to populate an ad. So when you get the Facebook, they were searching for insurance, and that's why that ad got populated into their Facebook. They clicked on it, it populated their information, it asked them what their favorite hobby or their favorite color was, and that information then came to you in your Google spreadsheet. Okay, so I just want to first make sure that you understand how that process works so that you understand they were looking for it before they ever got that ad. Okay, now once you get that information, I'm going to run through what I say to those Facebook. It's pretty similar to the mortgage protection. I'm going to say, hey Mary, it's Chantal calling from the Senior Benefit Center. I'm getting back to you on a request you put in on Facebook about the state-regulated insurance for final expenses. Mary, you put your favorite color was red. Is that correct? Yes. Perfect. Mary, my job is to get that information out to you. It takes 15-20 minutes to see what you qualify for. They have me dispatched out your way on Tuesday, Mary. Are you working or are you retired? No, I'm retired. Okay, perfect. Mary, do you have any appointments on Tuesday? Oh, yeah, I got doctor's appointment. Okay, Mary, what time's your doctor's appointment? Oh, well, it's at 10 and I got another one at 1. Okay, Mary, so you'll definitely be home by 4 o'clock, right? And then you schedule an appointment after that, between 5 and 6. But make sure you know their schedule first, okay? Don't go suggesting times without knowing what they got so that you can work around it, because you don't want to start throwing times out there and then all of a sudden it looks like your whole day is free, and then the next thing you know it, the client is going to be asking you for a different day altogether, okay? You set the tone, you set the schedule, you let them know when you're available, okay? So first you need to know when they're not available, and then you schedule around it, okay? So to go back to that, Mary's got an appointment, doctor's appointment, let's say at 8 o'clock and at 1 o'clock. Okay, Mary, so will you be home by 3? Well, you never know the doctors. Okay, Mary, so actually I have somebody already scheduled at that time, so I can squeeze you in, Mary, between 4 and 5. Do you think that you would be definitely home by then? And then schedule the appointment from there. And again, I'm going to hammer down. I'm going to say, Mary, I've got you down between 4 and 5 on Tuesday. My name's Chantal. I'm going to be driving a gray Toyota Sienna, so you know it's me when I get there, and I have long brown hair. So, Mary, I got you down between 4 and 5. And, Mary, is it just you, or do you have anybody else that needs to be there? Oh, no, it's just me. Okay, perfect. And I say that because especially, well, it doesn't matter whether mortgage or final expense, I always say that, because I want to make sure that if there's anybody else that needs to be there, that they're going to be there. If they have a child, if they have a son, a daughter, a spouse that's maybe they didn't indicate, that we're not going to have a one-leg appointment, okay? So I always ask that on the appointment setting. Is there anybody else that needs to be there with you? Nope. Okay, perfect. So that's kind of a quick rundown, guys, of some of my scripts. It's not a whole lot different. The mortgage call-in leads, guys, I just read what it says. I'll be honest. I just read what it says. Like on the call-in leads, hey, Terrence, my name's Chantal. I'm calling about your mortgage with Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. I'm getting back to you about that postcard you received in the mail regarding your mortgage. You called the number and verified your contact information so we could contact you back regarding mortgage protection options. Terrence, I'm just calling to verify your information. I have that you're 55 years old. Is that correct? Yes. Perfect. The authentication phrase that you used, Terrence, was charming, arrive, require. And I have your address, 469 Dorchester Street. Yes, that's correct. Perfect. Terrence, my job is to get that information out to you and show you what you qualify for. It takes about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to be dispatched out your way on Tuesday, Terrence. Is there any reason you would not be home between 7 and 8? And again, I'm kind of shortcutting it because we're getting short on time here. But I do follow the same thing as that first mortgage appointment as far as like, is your address easy to find on navigation? What time do you typically get home from work? Are you working? Are you retired? Or is there any appointments? And work the way around that. So, guys, I hope this helped. I got a little bit short on time, so I know that got quick at the end. But if you guys need anything, I'd be happy to help you out. We are going to be pretty diligent on having dialing at the Raleigh office. So if there's anybody that is in the vicinity that wants to come in and dial, please just shoot me a text. My number is 919-274-1259. Don't hesitate to text me, call me, I'd be happy for you guys to come in and dial with us. And I hope this helps, guys. Have a great night.